Hello student, this is Purushottam Vishwakarma and I welcome you to this new video lecture of Evans Tries and O-Level. Today we shall discuss page number 76. Earlier we have already finished up to page number 75. We have already discussed how Reverend Stuart McLeary came to HM prison. First of all, he was escorted by a silent prison officer. That silent prison officer handed him over to Mr. Jackson. Then Mr. Jackson handed him to Mr. Stephens, who opened the cell of Evans, and then before him was Evans sitting at the farthest of two tables. Two square tables were there inside the cell, in between the wall and the bunk where he used to sleep. Now, what happens we shall discuss today. So, our topic is Evans tries and O-level. What is O-level? O-level is German language exam. And who is pursuing this exam? Evans, James Roderick Evans is pursuing this O-level exam. What is the day? The day is Tuesday. What is the date? The date is 8th June. So let's continue what happens. It was 9:10 a.m. when the governor switched on the receiver. He had instructed Jackson to tell Evans of the temporary little precaution that was only fear. Now it was 9:10 a.m. If you remember, the examination of Evans was scheduled to start at 9:15 a.m. And right now it was 9:10 a.m. When the governor switched on the receiver. If you remember, the governor had ordered to put a microphone in his cell. So he wanted to listen whatever he was going to speak during examination. So at 9:10 a.m. the governor switched on the receiver to listen to Evans. He had instructed Jackson to tell Evans of the temporary little precaution that was only fear. He had instructed Mr. Jackson, senior prison officer, to tell Evans everything that is required, to take all the precautions, because he was well aware Evans will try to escape. As if Evans would not spot it. As I told you, he was not supposed to get about it. What about the microphone? About putting the microphone. It was supposed to keep it hidden. But Evans knew about it. But wasn't it all a bit theatrical? All this was going to be a bit theatrical, just like a drama. School boys almost. similar to the action of school boys. How on earth was Evans going to try anything on today? Where is the possibility? How will he try to escape? There is no possibility. If he was so anxious to make another break, was he able? Was he worried to make another break the fourth time he is trying to escape? Why in heaven's name hadn't he tried it from the recreational block? Now the question is, now he is in deep wing. Earlier he was in recreational block. Now he is in deep wing. So the question arises, why he had not tried when he was in recreational block? Tried to escape. Much easier. It would have been very easy from him from there. But he hadn't. Tried about it. And there he was now. Now he is there in D wing, sitting in a locked cell. What is his position? He is sitting on a square table. Two chairs are there in his locked cell. All the prison officers on the alert. Prison officers are on the alert. The slightest possibility was not there. Two more locked doors between his cell and the yard. If you remember, when Stuart McLeary arrived, there were two doors, opened and closed. And a yard with a wall as high as a haystack. Haystack quite high. The wall was quite high. Yes, Evans was as safe as houses. Suddenly, there was the interruption. Anyway, it would not be any trouble at all to have the receiver turn it on for the next couple of hours or so. What governor thought? He would keep the receiver on for next couple of hours. It wasn't as if there was going to be anything to listen to, was it? Nothing is going to be special. Nothing is going to happen that could be heard, could be listened. Amongst other things, an invigilator's duty was to ensure that the strictest silence. Whenever you sit in examination, what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to keep your mouth shut. So for what purpose is microphone? What are you going to listen if you are not going to allow anybody to speak? Then what will you listen? Was observed, but still that little nagging doubt. But there was a small nagging doubt, small doubt. Might Evans try to take advantage of McLeary? There was a possibility he will take advantage of Stuart McLeary, Reverend Stuart McLeary. Get him to smuggle in a chisel or two. Surely he got him to smuggle a chisel or any sharp object or two such things, or a rope, ladder, or any such thing that will help him to escape. The governor sat up sharply. When he thought about all these things, he sat up. It was all very well getting rid of any potential weapon. It is necessary to get all those potential weapons he could carry that Evans could have used. But what about McLeary? We have already taken everything from that person Evans. But what about McCleary if he had brought something with him? Any potential weapon, any sharp object? What if, quite unwittingly means unknowingly, the innocent McCleary had brought in something himself? If he had brought in something with him, a jackknife perhaps, jackknife, foldable knife that can be folded. And what if Evans held him hostage with such a weapon? And what will happen if Evans hostage him? Make him hostage with such a sharp object? The governor reached for the phone. It was 9:12 a.m. Now it was 9:12 a.m. Just after 3 minutes, the examination is scheduled to start, but it is not going to start at scheduled time. The examinee and the invigilator had already been introduced by Stephens when Jackson came back and shouted to McCleary through the cell door. Mr. McCleary, he shouted. Can you come outside a minute, sir? You too, Stephens. He called both of them outside. Jackson quickly explained the governor's worries. Mr. Jackson quickly explained the governor's worries. What is governor's worries? If he had brought anything, he should spare it off. And McCleary patiently held out his arms and shoulders. Yes, check me. Whilst Jackson lightly frisked his clothes. Frisked, checked. Mr. Jackson checked his clothes. Something hard here, sir? What is here, sir? My reading glasses. My reading glasses. This is my reading glasses. My speckle, replied McCleary, looking down at the speckles case. Jackson quickly reassured him and bending down on the landing thumb. Jackson quickly reassured him, don't worry, sir, don't worry. And bending down on the landing thumb flicked, using finger to turn the pages like that. Thumb flicked together like this. The catches on the suitcase. Opened the catches. Whenever you open a suitcase, you need to click it. A clicking sound comes out like this. And then suitcase. What was the color of the suitcase that he brought? The color of the suitcase was brown. And what was the contents? Contents were yellow invigilation form, an authentication card, along with a sealed envelope containing question paper, a magazine, a copy of Bible, all these contents along with a knife, paper knife. So he opens the suitcase. Now what else will be taken out? What are the belongings that Mr. Stuart McCleary, Reverend Stuart McCleary had brought and will cause a suspicion? What are the things that will create suspicion in the minds of Mr. Jackson? What will he say? What happens next? We'll talk about it in the next video for page number 77. So that's all for the day. Thank you very much.